So on this problem, what we want to be able to do is let's read it. The following is a sample of populations of 5 cities in the state of Mississippi. Please find the mean, variance, and standard deviation. Now, mean is the average. And this is not all the cities in the state of Mississippi. This is a sampling of just 5 of them. And so my mean of a sample is X bar. Okay? And so I'm going to add up all of the 5 cities that I have here. So my calculator, I'm going to put 8206 plus 47,169 plus 492 plus 11,203 plus 3074. And that gives me a total of 70,144. Now, I have to divide that by n. N is my total number of pieces of data. In this case, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of data, so my n is 5. So I'm going to divide by 5. Okay? So I'll take 70,144 and I'll divide by 5. And so my mean of my sample data is 14,028.8. And what that's saying to me is this. It's saying the average of the 5 cities that I sampled have an average population of 14,028 people. Okay? And now we want the variance. So that was our mean. That was the first word right here. We're done with the mean. Now we want the variance. Now what variance means is it means take New Albany's population and subtract the mean from it and square it. And then take Hattiesburg's population and subtract the mean from it and square it. And then take Myrtle's population and subtract the mean from it and square it. And then take West Point's population, subtract the mean from it and square it, and take Verona's population, subtract the mean from it and square it. So let's do that. Now the symbol we use for variance is sigma squared. And so sigma squared is New Albany's population minus the mean squared plus Hattiesburg's population minus the mean squared. And then I got to do whose population? Myrtle's. Good. So I'm going to go Myrtle's population, 492, minus the mean squared, plus West Point's, which is 11,203, minus the mean squared, plus Verona's, which is 3074, plus 3074, minus the mean squared. So let's look at what I've got written down. I've got New Albany's population minus the mean squared plus Hattiesburg's population minus the mean squared plus Myrtle's population minus the mean squared plus West Point, and then I did Verona. So those are all the populations. Now, the question is, what do I divide by? Well, since this is a sample, I don't divide by 5. I divide by 5 minus 1. So when you're doing a sample, you divide by n minus 1. And so my variance is going to equal all these values added up divided by 4. So I'd pause the video and I'd add all those up yourself. And so for my first value, I have 33904,999.84. Now that represents 8,206 minus 14,028.8, and then squaring it, and this is what I get right here. And now I need to do that for these other 4 right here. So the second one, Hattiesburg's, would be 109,827 2856 plus, and then I need to do the third one. So now I'm going to do this one right here. 492 minus 14028.8, enter, and then I'll square it, and it gives me 183244954.2 plus, and now I'm going to do the fourth one right here. And so I've got 11203 minus 14028.8 equals, and then I square it, and it gives me 79,85145.64. And then I will do the last one, which is this one right here. 3,074 minus 14028.8 equals, squared is, and I'm going to put plus 120007643. Okay, so now these five values I've got here, let me show you them. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to put them in parentheses so you can clearly see them. There's 1, here's 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I'm dividing all those by 4 because it's a sample. If it were a population, I'd divide by 5. So my variance equals, now I need to add up all these values on top. If I were you, I'd pause the video and I'd add them all up. And so when I add all 5 of these on top, I get 144,341,5599, and I need to divide that by 4. And so I'm going to type divided by 4, and I get 360,853,899.7. So that right there represents my variance. Okay, and we know that sigma squared means variance. Sigma squared right here means variance. Now if I want sigma, notice sigma squared has a squared. Sigma doesn't have a squared, does it? If I want sigma, then all I have to do is take the square root of the variance, and that gives me 18,996.15487. And so there is my standard deviation. Standard deviation. Now, let's talk about what that means, okay? So on the screen right here, you can see I've got my variance right here. I've got my standard deviation right here, okay? And then up here, I had my mean, okay? Now we said my standard deviation sigma is 18,996, and they want us to round to one place past the decimal, so that'd be 0.2. So when I say my standard deviation is 18,996, here's what I'm saying. I'm saying the average distance each of my values are on average from the mean is 18,996 units away. So the average distance each of these is from the mean is this. The average distance each of these is from the mean is this amount from the mean. And so we did what the question asks. We found the mean, the variance, and the standard deviation.